Hello and welcome to Coffee Break with Hayley. I'm a professional dancer and a rolfer. As a rolfer, I help you with your roofing and your golfing. I've said that before. But without joking, there's the relationship that you have in your posture between the space above and the space below and in gravity. Yeah. So what's your relationship to gravity? Are there places you hold because of the experiences you've had in your life, or the injuries you've had, or the things that you've learned from your parents or the people around you when you were growing? Yeah. And are there places you could come into more fullness, into more ease, out of pain? Is there something you're doing that means you're in pain or feeling restricted? So it's like that. And I'm using the principles of rolfing to make these tiny videos, combined with my experience as a dancer, that I hope are helping you to build a relationship with your body, know it better, and then be able to use its power, and influence in a way that you want to. So I've said already that this little run starting yesterday, I think in these 5, so we're in 2 today, are going to be about coming front and all that means in our bodies and our postures and our attitude and the psychological and emotional elements of that. So we're going to be moving in space a bit today. So I'll show you first and then we can do together with some sound, and I'll tell you afterwards how I find it affects, or I'll invite you into a bit of insight about how we've been moving. Okay, so find a place to stand. Yeah. And just to begin with, have quite a wide stance. Knees are soft. Yeah. And just take a moment to free your tailbone so you're not clenching it underneath, clenching your bum. Yeah. So just free your tailbone. You might want to wag a little bit to find it. That is the bone right at the bottom of your spine. Yeah, the very bottom of your spine. Just so waggle it so the bum isn't holding on, because often it does. Yeah. And the basic motion is that we're going to go to one leg, without collapsing in the hip. So I don't do this, I don't also hold loads, but I just let myself go side. So I think of these side ribs and I go side onto one leg. Yeah, and then this foot's going to trace the floor and go front and side. Take me over here. Yeah. And then front and side, take me over here. And then front and side. It's like I'm curving an arc with the foot. I don't go too far, so I'm not overextending. I'm just letting my foot trace in a distance that's comfortable. In a distance that's easy, actually, really, yeah. So tracing, yeah. So you do with me. Tracing. I'm not unbending my knees for now. I'm just keeping them soft. Yeah. Having the feet nice and soft. Good. And while we're doing this, we're also going to be using the hands and arms and thinking about our tail. Yeah. So I'll show you. So as we go to one side, and as we come front, we're going to feel the space. So if you watch me from the side, I'm doing this. I'm feeling the space in front of me, letting my hands lead the way. Or like there's a cloud in front of me and I'm feeling it, yeah. And at the same time, I let my tail be free. So I make sure that my bum's not clenching as I go front and feel. Yeah, as I go front and feel. Yeah, just notice for yourself, is there a moment that I feel a hesitancy or a holding or a restriction? And if you do, then just slow down over that space. Is it in the hands? Is it in the tail? Is it in the femur going into the socket? Just slow down and just see if you can gently move through the space where you feel gets a bit tricky. It's like, I'm going to call this cloud walking. Yeah. And is there a space as you go front that you get a bit nervous? Yeah. And let your hands feel through that space. Yeah. I'm just going a bit lower so you can see me. Yeah, so let your hands, if there's a space you feel a bit nervous, Is it that you need to find your tailbone a bit more? Could you feel through that space with the big open hands as if you're feeling a cloud? Yeah. So it's like that. So once we get to the front, because there's not too much space in my hallway, I'll come back again and I'll go again. And so if you'd like to do the same with however many steps you can fit, yeah, in your, wherever you are, hallway, garden. Yeah, and I'm making sure as well that my elbows aren't crooked. So as they go out, my arms, they have a kind of tube-likeness to them. So it's like stroking, yeah, stroking, so I show you, yeah, I'm not doing this, stroking, yeah, stroking. Shall we do together just with before the music, okay? So, free the tail, big feet, comfortable position with them turned out or in as you like. We shift to one leg, and there's a momentum to it. I'm not going to shift and hold and then go. It's like, oh, I just press in the cloud over here, and then press through the cloud. Now the cloud's at my side. Yeah, pressing through the cloud to the side of me and in front of me and behind me. Pressing through the cloud to the side of me and the side ribs. In front of me with my hands dangling my tail. Yeah, so the feet are going side, front and side at the same time. Okay, so we try some sound. We go a few steps and back, and however you need to do that with the space that you're in. Okay, here we go.
Though they may want you to tread in their trail, only to see if the path they set fails. Though they may want you to take off your clothes, whatever they think that the action exposed.
Slowing down if you find a restriction.
With your clothes on the floor, taking advice from some old balding boy. You'll ask yourself, did I want this at all?
Free your tail.
You remember what I said? The book I left by the bed. Words that soon survive. Lately I've been thinking about our daughter growing old.
Maybe you can find a rhythm that's lovely for you.
All of the bullshit that she might be told. There's blood on the floor. Maybe now.
Don't forget about your sides, ribs as you go side towards your hands.
She remembers what I said. Book I left by the bed. The words that some survive.
Tail, your back, big back clouds around you. Last time. Big back, clouds around you.
Though they may take you
At your
for all
side,
you're
at your back, at your front.
you won't be forgotten for what you had not done yet. So you asked for a kiss from God.
Really lovely. I hope you enjoyed some cloud walking. So we forget that to go front, we also go side. So in the walking pattern, because of how our hips are arranged, and actually whether we're walking on our legs or even walking in locomoting in a wheelchair, it's the same. There's a side action because it comes from our spine. So anytime we take a step, there is a side action before you go front. So walking and going front is a much more fluid, sidey, lizardy action than we think. And I think a lot of us, in trying to just do a straight line, because that doesn't really exist in our systems, we get pain in the hips because we're trying to pull that psychological effort is trying to pull the femur through front instead of letting it go side first. Yeah, and that's what it loves to do. The femur is a ball and socket, the thigh bone, yeah, into the hip. It likes to go round, yeah. And then also, we can get into pain in the hip or we can get frustrated that we can't just go front, because we don't. And actually we do, but to go front has an element of also going side. So that means that life is more of a dance than some of us would like it to be, or less black and white, or more of an exploration or curiosity than a line. I hope that's helpful. Have a lovely day.